Lana, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just want to make sure since I'm going to be.
Yeah,
Did Tracy
told
talk
me
to
you were
you?
going to be helping run the meeting tonight.
Yeah.
Did you start the meeting?
No, I don't think so.
That's so weird. It was already started.
I don't think I launched the meeting. I don't think I have that power. Aren't you? It says you are the host.
Yeah, but when I logged on, the meeting was already started, which is weird.
It wasn't me.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened.
I mean, that would make two of us.
We're all here now, though.
Yeah.
All right, let me screen share the agenda here. Feel out of practice. Let's see.
What, you missed 2 meetings?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's good to have you back, Lana.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Well, I'm also guessing you might be a little slightly sleep deprived.
You know, I can't really complain. I was incredibly sleep deprived with my first child, and this one sleeps so much better, so it feels great.
Congratulations, that's a wonderful gift to have.
I mean, I'm tired. Don't get me wrong, but
no, I know, but there's a difference between really tired and, oh my God, I haven't got more than 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's how I felt the first time around. I would say to people, and I honest to God felt like this. I felt like I was so tired. I felt like I was going to die, and that is the truth. But I haven't had that feeling yet.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's an awesome thing.
Thanks. It's pretty
exciting. And congratulations on the baby too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's pretty great too, especially when he's sleeping. Do you want to give it just like another minute or so, Shane? We'll see.
Yeah, let's give it another couple of minutes. Yeah.
I think we're going to have a smallish group tonight, it looks like.
Probably, or do you think we'll have a quorum?
It doesn't look like it so far.
All right. So we can't do any of the voting if we don't have a quorum.
Correct. Yeah. I think we only need 12. I'm pretty sure we're at 22 right now for the board. So I'll kind of start taking notes and seeing how many people we have. But
All right.
all right.
Hi, Shane.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for helping me with my garden walk tickets.
Of course, of course. You're not the only one.
I'm just clueless, absolutely clueless.
It's okay. We've gotten a few messages.
Well, what do you think, Lana? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and get started. There hasn't been anyone in the waiting room in about a minute, so
all right.
I'll continue to watch it.
All right, thank you. Hello, welcome to the Park Hill June Board and Community Meeting. I'm Shane Sutherland. I am the chair-elect. and I will be leading this meeting today. Tracy is out of town, probably earning some well-deserved time off, considering the amount of work she's done in the last couple of months. Anyway, I think Lana's going to start us off with some. Oh, the agenda is up there on the thing, and Lana's going to start us off with some community updates.
Yes, thanks. And sorry your name's not on the agenda, Shane. I just found out that Tracy wasn't going to be here about a half an hour ago.
I found out just about 20 minutes before you did.
There you go. All right. We're clearly all very prepared. Okay. Give me just a second. Why aren't you working? There we go. Okay. So just everybody probably knows this by now, but quick housekeeping. You have the power to unmute yourself, but please don't do that unless you're speaking or called on, just so we don't have a lot of background noise. If you would like to speak, you're welcome to do that. Click on the participants button and the raise hand button next to your own name. Or if you want to just drop a comment, you're welcome to do that in the chat. Note that everyone can see the chat comments. So please be thoughtful and specific and respectful in your questions and comments. I don't think anybody's dialing in by telephone, but in case you are, if you dial *9 on your keypad, you'll be able to see that you want to make a comment. Okay, so I've been gone the last couple of months on maternity leave, but I am back in action, sort of, kind of, catching up, and we've got a big summer ahead of us, which is really exciting. Our events are back for real in person, which is really cool, starting with our garden walk on June 13th. It's the 21st annual year for this. We technically didn't have a 20th annual, would have been last year. We did have a virtual event, but we're back on for the real deal garden walk this year. We have 8 gardens, 14 artists. Tickets are on sale now. You can get them at parkhillgardenwalk.org or at a bunch of retail locations throughout the neighborhood. You can see those on the screen there: Ace Hardware, Kate Crumbs, City Floral, the Park Hill Bookstore, and Spinelli's. You can also buy your tickets on the day of the event at any of the gardens, but you'll want to note that the prices get a little more expensive on the day of the event. So get your tickets in advance. Support us through this fundraiser. Get out there, spend some time in some beautiful gardens and some fresh air. Also coming up, really excited about this because we didn't know until very recently if this was going to happen, but the Park Hill Parade is happening on July 4th, which is really exciting. The city's new guidelines for outdoors events allow this, so we're pulling permits and making it happen. So again, it's on July 4th. It's a Sunday this year at 1:30. Runs along 23rd Avenue from Dexter to Kearney. And you can get more information at parkhillparade.org, including if you have a group that would like to participate and march in the parade, hit that website. And there's instructions there for who to contact and how to get involved. Starting this coming Monday, we have our annual free farm stand at the office. It's every Monday from 10 to 1. That is the same hours as our emergency food pantry, but this is for anyone and everyone who would like to utilize some free produce, bring us some produce. The goal here really is about sharing with your neighbors in order to reduce food waste. So we get some leftovers from the City Park farmers market, stuff that's still very much good to eat, but maybe won't be quite as fresh the following weekend for the farmers market. So swing by if you can on Mondays and see what we've got, take some stuff and eat it. Or if you're a gardener and you've got way too much zucchini, as everybody always does, bring it on down to us. We would love it.
Hey, Lana, is that just produce?
You know, it is a farm stand, so we do focus on produce, but we do get other things from the farmers market. We get snacks and things. Sometimes we get like bags of popcorn and stuff like that. So
well, what if someone wanted to bring eggs in? Would that be cool?
Yeah, eggs are great too, for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Cool.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Yep. Fresh food, I think, more is the goal. Our emergency food pantry is, of course, still running as well for anyone who needs that. We currently we're up to about 72 households, unique households just this year. About 1,000 visits so far this year, which is equivalent to almost 9,000 meals. We're still serving some students over the summer for our weekly backpack program. We are well stocked on a lot of the non-perishables right now. We can always use fresh foods, and we need some things like laundry detergent, shampoo, conditioner, and toothpaste right now. In addition to our own clients and their needs, we are going to be helping to support the SOS camp at Park Hill United Methodist Church throughout their time here. So if you wanted to drop off some things to us that are more grab and go items like snack bars, granola bars, whole fruits, and simple microwavable items, we will be collecting some of those types of items to help distribute at the camp as well. Note that the residents there can't cook on site, but they do have access to a microwave. Your quick update on the Park Hill golf course, and then if anybody has anything to add to this, they can do so. Maybe Shanta has something to add, but Denver Metro Collective Impact released the Park Hill Golf Course Community Voice Report. This was the report that was based on their Community Navigator program. And you can read the whole report on their website, dmcimpact.org/PHGC for Park Hill Golf Course. There's some interesting stuff in there, so I'd urge you to read that if you're following along with all the golf club stuff, the golf course stuff. The next community steering meeting is Tuesday next week at 5:30, and those meetings are now include opportunity for public comment. So they were always public meetings that you could observe, but now there is time carved out in those meetings for public comment if you wish to do so. And just a reminder that on our own website, greaterparkhill.org, under the resources page, we are keeping some running updates on the golf course as well, if you're ever curious as to what's going on with that. And our final reminder is if you are on our monthly communication list, you get our one email a month with all of our notices and everything. It goes a little deeper than this, and you'll get all the notices about liquor licenses, zoning requests, public hearings, and the like. So if you would like to receive that once a month, you can pop on our website and make sure you're on our newsletter list as well. There's no meeting next month. We don't have a community meeting in July, so enjoy the holiday. And it's because it would always be the same week as the 4th of July. So we hope to see you at the parade instead of at this lovely meeting. And that's all I got. GreaterParkHill.org is a wealth of information, and follow us on Facebook if you don't already, because we post a lot of community announcements and events there as well that we don't cover in our own newsletter or in our meetings. All right, that's all I've got.
Did you say, I didn't see Heidi in the participants. Did you, Lana?
You know, let me see.
This is Officer Murray. I'll be doing a presentation real quick.
Oh, all
Heidi.
right.
Oh, great.
All right, the floor is yours.
Okay, as the weather get warmer, crime is starting to rise. We're doing our best to address it as best we can. We having a class graduate here from the academy this week. We're getting 3 new officers, so that I add to the number of officers we'll have on the streets. And for future reference, everything is going back to full capacity. So the academy, instead of doing the partial academies, we'll be doing full academies from here on out, since things are going back to normal. And that's part of the reason why crime is starting to increase. More people are starting to get out now. Right now, we got one event that's going on. It's the Faith in Blue. It's going to be on June the 15th at 5 p.m. at the House of Purpose Church on East Colfax. Everybody is welcome to come. We got a mobile food market that happens every Tuesday of the month at 40th and Clayton. So along with your events that you have with serving the community, people can get out and come over and visit that on every Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month at 40th and Clayton. And we also have World of Refuge Day, which is going to be at the 1200 block of Yosemite, and that's going to be on the 18th of June at 3 p.m. Anyone have any questions or anything for me? Oh, I love it when it's quiet. I can't, you muted, okay.
Sorry, so we'll give it a second and see if anybody pops any questions into the chat or if there's any raised hands. I don't see anything. This might be.
And for the record, I'm the homeless outreach officer here for the district. I'm the only one here in District 2 now. So my workload has doubled. So if you have any questions or concern with that, feel free to shoot me an email. I will add that to the chat before I leave, along with my phone number.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we have Scott and
Scott
I hope I said
Esserman, yeah.
Esserman. That's what I was going to say, but
Yeah.
thank you, Lana. Scott?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the time. Thank you for your work on behalf of the neighborhood. I'm a Park Hill resident. I live at 19th and Niagara. We've been here for about 18 years, and I am currently a candidate for Denver Public Schools Board at Large. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. I recognize that the neighborhood association doesn't do endorsements and that sort of thing, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm running. Wanted to invite you to my kickoff on Saturday from 1 to 3 at Fuller Park outside of Manual. I'm running because I'm a parent and an educator. I taught for 20 years in public and private schools. My most recent endeavor was to open Northfield High School, which I did in the 2015-2016 school year. I was involved in writing the innovation plan and being on the opening faculty, hiring the principal, hiring the faculty ahead of that. My daughter just graduated from Manual coming up on 2 weeks ago. And I have a son who is going into 8th grade at DSST Montview. I'm running on a student-focused platform. I am interested in supporting and creating and expanding community schools, which is a very specific model. And I'm interested in making sure that DPS is serving all of our students. We know that traditionally that hasn't always happened, and I think that it's really important. And I don't want to take up a tremendous amount of your time. I know that you have a lot going on. I know that you have other things. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to go into greater detail. And that's who I am, and that's what I'm running for and why I'm running.
Looks like we have Jackie's hand up. Jackie, do you have a question?
Yes, Scott, this is Jackie Shumway. Wanted to check, how do you feel about the superintendent that we're maybe being confirmed at this very moment?
It's true. I will say that I was very impressed with the efforts that the board went to, with the transparency, with the level of community involvement that Alma did, and certainly I'm concerned about the lawsuit allegations, although my understanding is that he is one person who is named among a large number of people in the district, that it was one of those lawsuits that is that's extensive. I am concerned about that and would want to see it evaluated. I'm concerned about the number of times that we see, in particular, Black and brown people found as guilty rather than innocent first, that we assume that because there's an allegation that there's something untoward going on. And I've seen too many times, including at Manual High School, a presumption of guilt rather than of innocence. So I watched, I don't know how many other people did, this is sort of how I spend my time, but I watched the community interview that took place that was online. I watched the student-led interviews that took place that was online, and was actually very impressed by all three candidates, and felt that they each had some strengths and they each had some areas of growth, and am hopeful that should they go ahead and vote to confirm him, that those allegations are in fact proven to be without grounds, or certainly that he was not responsible for what occurred there, and that they're able to move forward. I think that's really important.
And can I ask again, so is it for at large or District 4?
For at large. District 4 is not actually, it is up this election. I don't live in District 4, I live in District 3.
You're like me.
in that right? I'm just across Montview. So if I walk one block, I'm in District 4, but for right now, I'm in District
Yeah,
3.
and actually, we should make that real clear too, because I ran for school board in 2009, 2011. Interestingly enough, I was gerrymandered out of my district. I had no plans of running again, but it was interesting. I was put in 3, and so I'm the reason you're in 3 now, Scott. Anyway, so but I did want to remind folks that most of you in Park Hill, if you are north of, north of Montview, you were in District 4, so you'll have two elections coming up.
Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah,
Good reminder.
I didn't know that, Jackie. I appreciate that.
No, don't you? I'm joking that I'm the reason. That was a smart aleck. I'm humble enough to know that I think they just did it because of numbers.
If I could just, what is the 2 elections, at large and that district? Or-
So there are a total of 7 members of the board of directors. 5 of them each represent a district. Park Hill is split between District 4 and District 3, both of which are in the election this coming November. And there are 2 at-large seats, one of which is currently held by Tay Anderson, and the other one I'm running for. It is a term-limited seat currently held by Barbara O'Brien. So she is ineligible to run again. So that seat is open, and that's the one I'm running for. So what Jackie is saying, I believe, is when you receive your ballot, you'll have something for either District 3 or District 4, depending on which side of Montview you live, and at large. And you'll be able to vote for both of those.
And I think, as
makes
far as I
sense.
know,
Thank you.
yeah, as far as I know, Carrie Olson is going to run again. I think she's planning on it, which means
She is.
that,
She filed
good.
just this week.
So you could run for 3, but it probably wouldn't be real smart because she's wonderful.
I'm a big fan of Carrie's, and we support each other in this election. And I told her months ago, as I was being encouraged to run by various members of the community, that I was not interested in running against her.
Cool.
There's a couple things in the chat. I just wanted to note, if anybody's not looking at them, Tara, the librarian, says, thank you, Scott, for your help with the library programs in the past. You're great to work with, and best of luck to you. And then Kara DeGette, our newspaper editor, is asking, when and where is your campaign kickoff, Scott? And I see you've responded that it's Fuller Park in front of Manual High School. And when is that?
This Saturday, the 5th.
Saturday from 1 to 3?
Yep.
Great. Ken Burdett also says, thank you for your service and your contributions, Scott.
Any more questions? For the record, I think I heard right as I was coming into the meeting that they did confirm the new superintendent on Channel 7. So
I did.
yeah, so
Okay.
I just was, that's what I heard. I didn't really dwell on it. So I think next we have Allison, who's going to talk about Sunshine Home Sharing Colorado. It's the home sharing program. And Allison, it's you have the floor.
Hi there. I have a quick PowerPoint. Is there a way to share the screen? And thank you all for
Yes.
having me today. I really appreciate it.
You should have the ability to share. Give it a try, and if not, let me know. But you,
Yeah,
you good? Okay.
there we go. So I tried to knock this down as quick as possible. And thank you so much for having me. So I'm the founder and executive director of a nonprofit called Sunshine Home Share Colorado. And we are a program that is about helping older adults to be able to age in place. And it's also tackling the affordable housing issue. And so Sunshine, I am a geriatric social worker by trade. And this program just came from the housing crisis that was around us and the lack of affordable housing and the lack of affordable supportive services for older adults. And so when you talk about home sharing, what we are really talking about is that we have people who are 55 and older, and they reach out to us for a zillion different reasons, right? My property taxes have gotten so expensive, I can't even afford to keep up my home. or some of our older adults are needing transportation or yard work or snow shoveling, or they are lonely and isolated. COVID has been devastating for our older adults in our community. And I would also say our younger members of our community that are living at home. And so the way that the program works is that we have people who are 55 and older. They come to us for lots of different reasons, but I would also say that they also need income. And on the other side, you have all of these people calling who say, I need affordable housing and I could cook or I could drive or I could snow shovel. And it's a really slow, safe, thoughtful social work model that's about bringing two people together. So it's supporting the older adult to remain in the community and age in place and combating gentrification, and it's creating affordable housing at the same time. So I'm not going to go over all of this, but this is just sort of the scope of the amount of work that our staff do to get to a match. And what I can tell you is that it is hours and hours of care management. One of the other services that we offer to our clients is what we call financial social work. And that's really the idea that if somebody is really in this opportunity to save money and not spend a lot in rent, or they are now earning income that they didn't have, how can you help use this as an opportunity for them to start to work on financial health and well-being? And sometimes the goals are so simple, like I've never been able to afford dance classes, right? I've never had the extra income and I want to start saving $50 a month so I can do dance classes, right? It's not that my retirement plan is going to be on track, and people really choose their own goals. And so it is a very comprehensive, it is not rapid housing, it is not emergency housing. The matches are really based on goodness of fit. And what I would say is that to get through this process, which includes the social work intake and the trial match and the checking of references and the background check and all of the pieces, at best, you're at about 8 weeks to get into a match. So when people call us and say, I need housing tomorrow, it's just not that rapid housing program. It's really meant to be long lasting. This is just some quick data about we were able to work with the VA last year and the Anschutz Center on Policy and Aging. And we actually did a national research study on the home sharing programs across the country. And our data looks pretty similar to this, but I thought it's just kind of some interesting data to see. One is that the average match length is about 2 years. So like I said, it's not quick, it's not rapid, and it's really meant to be where someone can get stable and then hopefully move on to their next living situation, or another housemate comes in. Compared to the average rent in an apartment, the average person is saving anywhere from about $1,000 to $1,400 a month. And just to give you perspective, last year, our average rent was a little bit under $400. And that was complemented with about 4 to 5 hours a week of service exchange. So taking out the trash, shoveling the snow, driving to a doctor's appointment. And we help to make sure that all of those expectations are really clear when people move in. Like I said, the average time for a match is about 8 weeks. So it's not that quick, fast, get someone in housing tomorrow. You can't pull someone off the street and make a goodness of fit match. It just doesn't work. And if you would look at the rent savings and what our home owners gain from having that 4 to 5 hours a week. If someone was going to call an agency and need help with housekeeping, meals, call a home care agency, you're at about $28 an hour. And so our home providers are getting a gain of about $18,000 a year. And most of our home providers are living at about 60% AMI of the federal poverty level. So that is a huge amount of money coming into their income that they either don't have to spend or that they're also earning. These are just some of our matches, and I love this picture because what I can tell you about our matches is none of them are the same. None, right? Based on age, based on race, based on income, based on location, based on service exchange, every single match is really different. In this one, you've got Lisa, who's younger, and Natalie, who's a nursing student. And then on this one, you've got Jim and Richard, who, Richard's 91 and Jim is in his 60s, right? And so when we make a match, there is no typical, right? They're really, really different. From millennials to our biggest gap has been a 26-year-old with a 99-year-old. And then we've had, yeah, it's crazy. And then my favorite is when our homeowners in their 90s, who about a third of them are in their 90s. And they'll be like, I want to live with someone close to my own age. And we're like, you want to live with another 90-year-old? And they're like, yeah, well, 60. And we're like, 60 is not 90, right? But it's sort of that idea, like, I don't want to be with a 20-year-old. I want to be with someone who's retired. So it's really figuring out what they want. We are a City of Denver funded program. A lot of our funding is through HOST. We also get funding through the Office of Financial Empowerment, which has helped us build this financial social work program. We really know that a lot of, and I will say that, North Park, like Park Hill is one of those neighborhoods where you have so many older adults that are just above that threshold, right? They don't have enough money to retire comfortably. They don't have enough money to pay for the services that they need, but their income is slightly too high to qualify for any kind of public benefits. And so they have to pay to maintain their house. They have to pay their property taxes. They have to pay their health insurance. And by the time they're done with all of that, they are sitting with nothing. And it's really interesting because when you compare that to like lower income seniors who get Medicaid and maybe they're in subsidized housing and they get energy assistance and they get food assistance, they come out financially ahead of the folks who worked really hard to save, to save that little nest egg that keeps them off of public benefits. And it's a huge problem. And the numbers are growing exponentially for this demographic who are just not financially prepared for retirement. And that's me. And that's like the fastest I've ever done this. So please, if you have questions, please just throw them out my way. Anything I can answer. I will tell you, we are always, always, always looking for what we call home providers, which are people who have homes. And we are always looking for home seekers, right? Both, because we're one of the few housing programs that doesn't carry a wait list, because our matches are based on that good, what can you pay and what can you help with? And how do you feel about smoking and marijuana? And can you have visitors? And so getting those buckets to line up is really just based on goodness of fit and not based on waiting list. So so it may be someone comes in and we have a couple people to introduce them to, and it may be we don't have anybody. But it's not like if you called a low income building and you had a 2 to 4 year wait list. And we have quite a few home providers who live in Park Hill, and they have lived there forever, right? They have lived there forever. And they want to stay in their homes. Quite a few in their 80s, right? Late 80s. That just want to stay in their houses. So anyway, if there's anything I can answer, you can always send people our way. And if there are people in your neighborhood that you know might benefit from this, let us know.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, Allison, is there a way that we can help beyond this meeting sort of disseminate some information to neighbors to let them know that this is an option for them?
I mean,
So
and any ideas that you have, if you have a newsletter, we would love to have like an article in your neighborhood newspaper or your neighborhood newsletter. We've done the Park Hill Festival. Like we've had a table there for several years. That's always fun.
we're doing it again this
couple
year.
couple years ago, we were next to one of the fashion people, and my daughter spent the whole time just trying on clothes. So you know, if you have any kind of newsletters, or if there's anybody that you can think of, we've reached out to the Dahlia Center. We've put our stuff in their food delivery boxes. But I mean, you could email me, like if you're like, have you thought about this or have you tried that? Like we're open to absolutely any ideas on how to just let people know. And you know, the hard thing is that it's like, so you can apply to our program and be over 55. And we call those the easy matches, right? There's very little service exchange. The rent is higher, right? The way our rent goes down is the more you help with. And so we have the younger 55 to, I would say, 68, 70 that apply. And those are kind of the easier matches. But our whole staff are master's level geriatric social workers. And where it really gets more complicated is when you have that 88-year-old, right? And so they're the ones that are isolated, and you know them, and they're on your block, and you see them come out every once in a while. And they're the ones that really need this program, right? And when we see them, we might be like, okay, home sharing can help you with this, but we also need to get you Meals on Wheels, and we also need to get you connected with some home care, and we also need to figure out if you qualify for an energy, right? How do we put all those pieces together? And that's where the neighborhood becomes so important, because you're like the eyes and ears that will know that you haven't seen your neighbor come out in weeks, right? Or that maybe they've stopped going to the activities that they're going to, and what can we do to help? And so I don't know how we get that out there, but I think that's where the neighborhood meetings are so important, because like we need active neighborhood members to be the eyes and ears for the folks that are becoming more withdrawn. And like I said, COVID has been so hard. Like all the activities that they used to do and all the things that people used to do, go out, are gone, right? Or stopped. And so it's just been so hard on our older folks.
Yeah,
Well,
I had one thought. I was going to ask you this for Allison's sake. This is Jackie thinking
Sure.
about always ways to kill two birds with one stone. Or I know
Sure.
that's not a good phrase, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Trying to do a lot of things is, you know, we have the block workers that go and deliver the papers. Okay. And my feeling is a lot of times they know, like, you know, I never seen this particular one. I think one of the things with the Park Hill the Beautiful, you know, that we've started, you know, it's all kind of kicking off Saturday. But as that starts happening, anything that makes Park Hill more beautiful, that's what I'm doing, is we're supporting. It's not just the cleaning up and the stuff, but little things like noticing their yard is a big one. And I know we're going to do the alley cleanup this weekend. And so everybody could just kind of keep an eye out for like yeah, I wonder if they're okay. And, you know, sometimes you knock on the door, as Allison probably knows, and they're not very receptive, but sometimes there is something going on. So I hope we can all reach out. And I don't know if we have I know we don't have the paper delivered to every block, do we?
No.
Do we? We need to, I'll work. That's one of the things I'm working on. Yeah. Many things I'm.
And if you know of certain, I mean, we actually went in and we're pulling the demographic data. And, you know, there are blocks in Park Hill that are, you know, you can pull by age and it's kind of crazy, the data that's out there. But some of your neighborhoods have really been identified as high number of older adults with lowest incomes, right? And those are the folks that we're really trying to reach, because they're the ones that can't afford to call that home care company and get someone to help them, right? And so those, I mean, anybody can apply. We don't have an income barrier at all to our program. But those are the folks that we're really like, how do we get the folks that we know really, really need this, right? And make sure that we're reaching them, which isn't easy to do, right? It's not easy. And just to give you a scope, which last year was COVID, so I almost think it doesn't count, but last year we made 18 matches, just to kind of give you the scope of how much it takes to get into getting those good fits of matches. And then everybody got double vaccinated and it just went nuts up. So yay.
Well, Allison, I know I'll be in
know.
touch. Sorry, Shane, go ahead.
That's all right. I was just going to tell her that I saw that Kara in the chat said that she was willing to follow up about doing something in the newspaper. So Kara left her email in the
Oh,
in
great.
the chat.
Oh, great.
So I just wanted to let you know that, because I know, because me and you talked earlier, and I know that was one thing you really wanted to look at.
Oh, great. Oh, I appreciate that. We have found that neighborhood newspapers do more for getting the word out than anything we could possibly ever.
It will certainly do more than this meeting, since there's
Well,
only
and
like
it's
30
interesting because we actually were just I was on Colorado Public Radio, and one of the questions that she asked that we don't get asked a lot is, why is it important to have mixed ages in your neighborhoods, right? Like, why is it important to keep your, and people don't usually ask that, but I was like, age diversity is as important and as beneficial as income diversity and race diversity. And that we, when we have those mixed generations living together on our blocks and as a community, everybody benefits, everyone benefits. And so figuring out, and sometimes in our 90-year-olds, it's just helping them be there 1 or 2 more years right before, but it's 1 or 2 more years that they get to stay in their community, which is what they want. And so if we can do everything we can to help the people, I mean, a lot of our homeowners bought their house for $15,000-$20,000 47 years ago, and it's their world. And so, helping them to stay there is so important. And it gives people affordable housing, right? Which is really where we get a lot of our funding, is for creating affordable housing, but it is helping keep the neighborhoods with the older adults in them as well. Well, thank you all. Sorry, that was way more than 10
Yeah,
minutes.
thanks, Allison. I know you and Kara will connect about the newspaper, and I'm going to reach out to you more specifically about getting some information into our e-blast for next month, and then also maybe getting some flyers that we can distribute through our food pantry as well.
Yeah, and we've got like postcards that I could bring you. Any ideas? There is no bad idea. So
thank you so much.
Throw them our way. And
All right.
I will save all these chats. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we're open to open floor items. I have a couple of things that I was going to talk about first, and then I'll let anyone else go.
You
The
know,
first
actually,
thing-
Shane, real quick, could I just make sure this has kind of bothered me a little bit? We have got this alley cleanup happening on Saturday.
Yes,
Oh, sure.
Jackie,
And it
I'm
has
so
not-
sorry that it wasn't on the presentation. It kind of came to fruition while I was on leave and it's not on my radar.
Not a
I'm
problem.
so sorry.
I
Please talk
just
about
wanted
it.
to be sure that everybody knows this is happening, and I will send something to Karen. I talked, Ken and I met today, Burdette. So I've got people working on things. John Bowman and I, this is kind of important because this is like a really cool thing. We've actually got probably, believe it or not, I think we have at least 1 or 2 council people and the mayor coming. We have a press conference happening on Saturday. I'll send a bunch of information. I'll send you the things, the signs. There was a mess up in ordering the signs. We just are getting them out. This is the first round of them, and you'll see them with Park Hill the Beautiful, the alley cleanups first. And I will ask everybody if you will send me your home address. If you are and I'm not going to egg it. I'm going to bring you by a sign, okay? Because we're going to put it up in just major places. I just want you to have one, and then we'll be changing them each time, okay? So it's going to be this whole idea around how do we make Park Hill beautiful? It's to literally assist, you know, with all my work I do with Martin Luther King Parade. This is our thing to assist Park Hill. And we're kind of just so y'all know, if everybody doesn't know this, John Bowman, God bless him, came forward with this idea. And it was like the kickoff idea with everything we were working on. SOS has, gotten a lot of our time. Y'all know I'm actually official rep for my church now. And it's been a wild time, but at the same time, it feels like it's all coming together and it's going to be good. And so what's more important is you have a baby, and I'm serious. It's been a crazy last 2 months. And this rollout, everybody feeling the same way. Like you just feel like you're like, oh my gosh, everything's happening so fast. And now this is happening. Are we in person? I missed this. It's been crazy. Everybody you're talking to. So no, we're cool. But we will do a second one. This is just to give you the heads up. They're going to be every weekend before the big trash pickup. Okay, so that you can mark that in your calendar, which is every 8 weeks. Okay, thank you very much, Shane, for letting me interrupt.
Oh, no, that's all right. I was going to ask if you wanted to do that a little later, but that's fine. And I had 2 items that I was going to start with before we go to open items. And the first one is actually just an update on 3435 Albion. It was the old Kate's restaurant. It has a new owner. It actually closed on June 1st. The new owner is going to landmark protect it. The new owner is he has done a lot of work in restoring and building houses in the Ghost District and in the Highlands. The Bosler House in particular is the one that he's probably best known for. So that's really good news on that front, that one of the oldest buildings in Park Hill will not be demolished. And the other thing I was going to say is that me and Amy Harris will be representing the Greater Park Hill on an affordability task force for the city of Denver. I will be the primary, Amy will be the alternate, and we will but the goal is that the city has, for people to know, this task force is actually just to work out the nuts and bolts and make recommendations. They've already determined what the methods they want to use for affordability. And just so you know, one of those is to increase the linkage fee, and others to use incentives, although that's one of the things they really want us to work on, because the current incentives didn't go so well when they did it in 5 Points or River North. And also the next thing is what they call inclusive zoning, which they use a little bit of different term of inclusive zoning. Their inclusive zoning means that every new project and even rental project will include affordable housing, which is, I think, is all good things. But I'm taking Blair's spot on the board and on the task force, and I view working with Amy on this as a team, and I was just sharing that, and that's all I have. And unless there's any questions about that, does anyone else have any open items?
Here, just because I missed this there.
I love you. You are so cute. God, look, I love you. You're wonderful.
This Saturday.
You
Grab
are
your
wonderful.
neighbors, clean your
Yeah,
alley.
11. Oh, and by the way, we'll be meeting at the alley by the 23rd and Jasmine, okay, which is John's alley. And y'all, if y'all, I don't know how well everybody knows John. I've known John for years. And so this has been fun. The two of us kind of working on, we're coming up with more stuff and we're, just going through. And I just wanted to say to everybody, please do. It's a great way to connect. Again, it doesn't have to be done between 11 and 1. We're giving that time. Do it whenever it works for you this weekend. Grab your neighbors. If you can't do it this time, definitely try and do it when we do it in July. And we'll remind everybody, if you have something coming up, and that would be the thing I would say with Park Hill Beautiful, you'll see that we have this. Well, I'll show you. See the sign right here? Okay, I'll show you. Okay. So this is our Park Hill signs. Okay. And so what happens is this changes. Okay. So we can put anything in it. It's called, it's called our nature's therapy event. Okay. And so it's the whole idea of making everything good. Anyway, so when it gets, I just want to tell you, if you think of something, think, Jackie, I'd love to put a few of those out. That's the whole idea. I've got 50 of them. We'll use them for different things. We'll put them around certain places. And you are absolutely welcome. If you have like something even in your immediate area for your district or something happening, let me know. And yay, that's the whole point of this, is to support everybody, because I know everybody, all the volunteers, everybody can't be doing any more than they're doing. It's just so I feel. And then, so that was it. And the second thing is because I was with City Park Alliance for so many years, and our ice cream social, which we are not holding the big one this year, there is going to be a small one tomorrow night, okay, at 6 o'clock. And Cooey's, I think, is little big man is actually got little separate things so they don't have to scoop it up. It's going to be a jazz band. It's very low key this year. They haven't told everybody, just because as they were planning it, they didn't know what was going to happen with the rollout of COVID. They just didn't know. And so, but anyway, I encourage you tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, swing by the band's chill up at City Park. And then last but not least I think those were the two big ones. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm done. Oh, and then SOS stuff, everybody, my name is on these signs. That's the last part that was so cool. My phone number, I know I'm crazy. It's on the bottom of these signs, 303-725-7482. Anything where you see a problem, they can call me. I am fine. I'm going to see a chain of command. I'm going to make sure things get places. No one is going to be able to say, oh, well, I told somebody nothing was done, because they're going to make sure that I'm going to make sure that this happens. This is my church. This is my neighborhood for 33 years. I have done so many things. I'm not running for anything officially. I don't care about that. What I cannot stand to see is for our neighbors fighting amongst each other and to be seeing problems caused. And I think some of it by outsiders and some of it by people that don't give a darn about our neighborhood. And this is my personal stance. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. By the way, I also do Tai Chi. So I will let you all know, please get the word out about the free online Zoom Tai Chi that we do for folks, especially people that are stuck in their homes and can't get out. And for those of you that want to learn it and are embarrassed and don't want to come do it until you're a little bit better, like cleaning your house before the maid comes over. But anyway, so we've been doing this for a while, and all that stuff will come to you, and you'll kind of see, I'm back in the neighborhood, and it's a dangerous thing.
Thanks, Jackie.
Nam's got his hand up. You're muted, Nam.
Thanks. We're glad to have you, Jackie. It sounds like you've got a lot of energy and a lot of plans. So look forward to working with you on some of that stuff. I guess the only thing I think I misunderstood. I think a couple of times I heard you, and I may have misheard, so that could be it too. But I think I heard you reference SOS, and I was thinking the park stuff, save open spaces. But from the context of your last conversation.
Oh, I'll be happy to deliver. I'll be happy to deliver those messages.
I think you're talking about
Yes,
SOS may be one of the relevant
right,
acronyms that I'm just not aware of. But you're talking about the same.
Right.
Safe outdoors.
Okay.
Right,
Safe
and
outdoor
that would
spaces.
be. That's actually a good. I was going to wait and just hoping other people had. Because I know everybody's so busy and
Thank
tired.
you.
It's a Thursday night. It's a short week for most folks. What I was going to say is that also Pastor Nathan wanted me to just express to people how appreciative everybody is about what the work that has been done. Ken Burdett has just been amazing on working on the Good Neighbors Agreement. Everybody is trying to make this thing work and be a good thing. It's difficult when you have such contention. Everybody's, what could we have done better? But what's so beautiful is that most people are stepping forward and saying, nobody wins if this thing doesn't work, because we do have an unhoused issue. Can we be the model of how to do this, you know, and what that will include is letting the neighbors know, bringing everybody to the table, which is, you know, is community activism 101. Okay. Is just making sure, and that all under the auspices of COVID, I really truly believe that was why the communication was so weird. So now that we're correcting it, people see where people's hearts are. He just said, they can't even believe it. And he thanks the article that was written in the Greater Park Hill News has been so helpful. It has been healing for my church. I mean, I'm just telling you, people in the temple, everybody's just like the Children's Center. So Kara DeGette, no wonder we won 8 awards for that newspaper. It is just amazing. And so I just wanted to recognize that as you guys are doing this and we move forward again, this can be a possibly one of the greatest things we've ever had happen. And I hope that when NBC News writes their next story on a national level, it's about this incredible neighborhood that came together and figured out how to make this work. And I don't mean in a stupid way, you know, like we were making it happen. I'm talking about in a good, positive way, so that when it moves on, that it can be transplanted across the country. So anyway, he just said, thank you. And by the way, the new people will be coming on the 15th. Yeah. So that's to give you a date. Okay.
All right, any other, did you see any hands up, Lana?
Maria has her hand up.
I do have my hand up. I just wanted to give a quick report on our Adopt a Flower Bed program to spruce up the flower beds in City Park. So between Greater Park Hill, City Park Friends and Neighbors, City Park Alliance, South City Park, all of the neighborhoods around, I think we've got about 50 people who showed up to 2 different training and kickoff sessions in City Park. And we just finished today pruning all of the roses in City Park, so they will be blooming this summer. There was a little bit of neglect last year because of the short staffing. And there's a lot of weeding to be done. So I'm just really proud at the number of people that have shown up to express their love for City Park. And if anybody else wants to be involved but missed the kickoffs, there are many, many opportunities to go over to City Park and basically weed the beds. So just let me know if you still want to participate and we'll get you set up. Thank you.
Couple quick things in the comments. Amanda Schultz, who's one of Councilman Herndon's aides, says she has to leave the meeting. If there's any city issues or anything their office can help with, please reach out to her. Her email address is in the chat. And then Tara also says your local libraries are now open Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 5. Come on by, say hello. The libraries are open. And Shanta's hand is up as well.
Yeah, I think we actually have a quorum now.
We do. Yeah, we have 14.
So do we want, are we ready to move on to board business then?
I think so. I know Shanta has her hand up, so I don't know if she just had something she wanted to add to the announcements, and then I think we can move on to the voting stuff. Shane, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys, just really quick. Park Hill Golf Course Steering Committee update. Dr. Dwanita Tyler has stepped down as the facilitator due to health reasons. And so she's been replaced by Dr. Ryan Ross. And just wanted to let you guys know, we had a meeting in May. We're going to have 2 meetings in June because there will be no meeting in July. So there's a meeting June 8th, and then there's July either 28th or 29th. So I'll be sure to include that in my updates, but just wanted to let you guys know that there's been a facilitator change. And so hopefully now that we've got a new facilitator, we can kind of start getting in the weeds of things, because it's just been a lot of discussion so far as to what people think they want to see and all of that. So hopefully we can get some traction going pretty soon. So that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shanta. Let's move on, unless I'm missing in some other hand.
Nom just threw his hand up too. What do you got for us now?
Sorry, I just, if I can take one more second to just follow up with Shanta, and I'm happy to have a conversation offline if that makes more sense. I was not at the last steering meeting, but I did hear that things got a little heated or contentious, maybe those are someone else's words, regarding the new mediator or moderator or whatever his role exactly is that you just mentioned, and potential or perceived conflicts of interest and sort of the way
Right.
that discussion went or was handled. Anything you can kind of elaborate on there as someone who maybe attended when I did?
Yeah, so there are some potential conflicts of interest, with him. He does have ties to some of the members in the Hollering Group, which of course, the Hollering Group is partnered with Westside Development. So that's the main issue with Dr. Ross, and so that conflict was raised, and so that's pretty much where that stands. Is the conflict of interest was pointed out, and we're not sure exactly where it's going to go from there.
And again, I'm happy to follow up offline. I guess I'm just more curious to hear. My understanding was there was some past business relationship. Is there clear details that he has a current business relationship that relates directly to the current property that Westside owns?
Right. He says that the business relationship that he had previously specifically with Norm Harris has been resolved. He is still listed on I can't remember what the website is. I think it's the 5 Points Business Association website. I think he is still listed there as a participating board member, but he says that relationship has been resolved. The website just hasn't been updated yet.
So just to be clear, no direct conflict of interest around this property and this business deal?
Not around this business deal, just with some of the people who are involved with the business deal. That's been a concern though, because it seems that a lot of the same names keep popping up in various places concerning this deal. And it seems that they all have dealings elsewhere. So it creates some blurred lines there, and it raises doubt, for some folks as to the validity of this process, I guess you should say. So that's where the conflict.
No, I appreciate that. That was helpful. Again, I wasn't able to attend. I heard secondhand. So
yeah. And the recording should be available if you want to go back and take a look at it, because it did get pretty heated. So it's worth listening to, if you really want all of the details on that discussion.
Thanks, Shane. Sorry.
That's all right. So on to board business. We still have a quorum, right? I think I saw one of our board members left.
Well, I had counted 15 in, so I guess so. There's
think
definitely
Lois
enough,
just
even
left.
if one left. So we'll see what we get with the counts and the votes. And hopefully
right.
there it's 14 or 15.
So you all received the minutes. Do I have a motion?
April and May were both sent out.
Either
Those are the
April
two.
or May?
So moved for both.
Do you want to do both, or do you want to do them separate, Shane?
I didn't
Let's do
see
them
any edits.
separate.
Oh, okay. I move for the April minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks,
Thank
Martha.
you. All those in favor of approving did you say April? April minutes, raise their hand, and the participant, or
Please keep them up so we can count. I have, let's see, Nam, Jim, Maria, Shane, Doug, Lewis, Sandy, Ken, Amy, Ryan, Shanta. That's 11. If I did not just call your name, then I did not see your hand raised. So speak now, please.
On a technical point, I cannot vote on them because I was at neither meeting, correct?
Yeah,
can't vote
exactly.
on
You'll
the
need to
minutes if
abstain
you
if you weren't at the meeting.
Yeah,
Wanna make sure.
Jackie, I think you are a voting member of the board now. That's my understanding. So if you were at the April, I would say, well, I don't know how it works, Shane. If she just is a new board member, should she abstain from voting on the minutes possibly for these two?
I
don't
did
know.
when I joined, but I didn't know what the actual
When-
rules state.
Yeah.
So.
I guess if you were at the meeting, Jackie, and you read the minutes, then it would be fine.
You were
Probably.
definitely at May's meeting. I know for sure. Were you also at April?
Not April. Okay. So we have 11 ayes on in favor of approval of the April minutes so far, Shane.
Okay. Well, how many, do we have any nays or abstentions?
If you already voted, can you lower your hand so that I can make sure you aren't voting for?
I'm
Okay, so-
abstaining. I wasn't there.
Okay, so sorry, can we do nays first, just so it's so hard for me to
Nays.
count? Are you voting nay, Shane, or is your hand up from before?
Oh, my hand's up from
Okay.
before, sorry.
No nays,
on
I'm not
my-
counting any nays on the April minutes. And then abstentions? Melissa
Sorry, I abstain.
and Kevin. So 2 abstentions. Okay, so I got 13 votes, which is enough, but is not everybody unless some people left. So if I didn't call your name and you wanted to vote on the April minutes, please speak now. Okay, we can move on to May, I think.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the May minutes?
Lewis
So
has
moved.
Oh, Lewis is back now.
I think we
I
got
saw
a
Lewis's, I
first
saw
and a
Lewis's
second.
hand go up. Maria, you want to second that?
I'll second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Okay, I have Nam, Maria, Rick, Jackie, Shane, Doug, Lewis, Melissa, Ken, Sandy, Amy, Ryan. That's 12 ayes. You can lower your virtual hands and your real hands. Unless I missed you. And then abstentions for the May minutes, Shanta and Jim. Any others? Kevin? Okay, so 3 abstentions. I think that's everybody. I don't think there's any nays because that was 15 people.
All right. So we approved those minutes. Let's, there's a letter of support that you also received in the packet for Daniel's ADU. Does somebody want to move to vote on this letter, or do we just vote on it?
Nam made a motion in the chat to approve the letter.
And I'd like to second that motion, please.
Amy?
All right, all
Thank you.
those in favor?
All right, so we have Nam, Jim, Maria, Rick, Shane, Doug, Melissa, Sandy, Ken, Amy, Ryan, Shanta. That's 12. If I didn't just call your name and you wanted to vote in support of that.
And Kevin too.
Kevin too. Thanks, Kevin. That's 13 ayes.
13 ayes. All right, all those opposed?
I meant to be an aye. I just couldn't find my reaction button.
Oh, okay, Jackie, I'll add you. No one opposed, so there must be an abstention then. Lewis, thank you. Okay, there's 14 ayes and 1 abstention on that, Shane.
All right, I guess then we approve the letter as presented. I don't have any more business. Does anyone
Since
else have any?
I have a couple of things. Since we
Sure.
don't currently have a property use chair, I will take care of getting that letter of support returned back to that homeowner. I just need to, Sandy, you're our secretary tonight, right? Is that right?
I am.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
here.
Yes, I'll send you the recording after. I couldn't exactly remember. So I'll make sure I get you a copy of that. And then related to our farm stand, there's kind of a new team at Denver Food Rescue, and also the farmers markets around town are just sort of starting back up again. So we're still working out logistics, but I do have food coming in this Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If there's a board member who's available to do that food intake this afternoon, I'm going to be sending out the sign up for like the rest of the growing season here soon, but I just didn't have any of the logistics in place yet. But if anyone's available this Saturday at 3, I need someone to just go by the office for a little bit and make that accept that food delivery it's coming from the Cherry Creek Farmers Market this time. So
I'll do it.
thanks, Melissa. Okay, I'll be in touch with you with details. Okay, that's all I've got.
All right. Any other board business? Okay. I think that's it. Thanks, everyone. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you,
Everyone.
everybody.
We did all
Thank
right.
you.
Lauren.
Great job, Shane.
Yeah,
It was
thanks,
a-
Shane.
Yeah,
It was
wonderful
a
job.
fly-by-minute there.
Great
Good
job.
job, Shane. And for anyone else who's still sticking around, I also like Nam's idea of meeting in person at some point. I'd sure love to see y'all again.
Yeah,
I
that would be
would,
great.
yeah, I
All
think
right.
maybe we should talk
Sure.
about that in August. So
Yeah, that'd be
that's
great. Okay.
that's
Good night, everybody.
that's a good idea.
Yep. And hey, Shane, thanks so much for taking on that primary role too. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun.
I view us as a team, Amy, so I really am
Okay.
gonna hope that you attend, because I actually asked that question, that you could attend the meetings, and they said you would be able to attend the meetings, so.
Oh yes, I plan to. Yeah.
Oh, good.
We'll be in it together.
Yeah, I'm totally on team, because I do value your opinion very much.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
I value
You
yours
guys
as
are
well.
gonna be great for that.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
let's hope
Thank you so
With
much,
the-
Shanta.
As Nam pointed out in the chat, there was a big bill that passed that got signed into law on Monday that really can help cities try to address some affordability. House Bill 117 was signed into law, which reversed some of the effects of Telluride decision. But that's another story.
Yeah, we'll be digging into it and reporting back for sure.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Sure,
All right.
guys.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.